of a very long couple of weeks of swimming, so without further ado, it is time to throw absolutely everything into this final day, and let's make it, for the last one, a fast one.
A light is ready to shine throughout Glasgow and Scotland once again. Hopes and dreams sealed and shattered in a single breath. Be there when new European champions are crowned.
Our thanks go to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partners, Tier, Merthyr Pools. Endorsed product, Sports Systems. Host city, marketing Sheffield and Sheffield International venues.
Let us know who you are supporting today. Your final chance to get behind your swimmers for this meet. Plenty doing that already. Jan Daly is getting in touch, says good luck to my daughter Abby competing in the 100 MC backstroke. Sprint swimming, Atlantis and City of Norwich, South Croydon, all getting behind their swimmers today. And there's plenty you can get involved with at this event as well. There's been plenty of memories made over the course of this week. And should you be able to, you can get them for yourself as well. The heats and finals footage are available, £5 a session. The QR codes are scattered around the venue at various different intervals. Scan them with your phone camera and it will take you straight to the Vimeo website where you can get those sessions forever as a keepsake for £5. And we're here at the National Summer Meet in the middle of a heat wave in the city of Sheffield. Remember when we had snow in April? National Winter Championships are back this winter in December, 14th through the 16th of December. They were a wonderful meet last year, and we're really excited to have them back again. They'll be here in Ponsforge in Sheffield. And today is the final day for nominations for the Swim England National Awards. These are taking place on the 10th of November at the Great Hall in the University of Birmingham. It's the second national awards using the Swim England name. The categories have all been modified and updated. All you need to do is go to the Swim England website or simply Google Swim England National Awards. The first link will take you straight to it. The final day for nominations is today. So if you have a swimmer or a coach or any person involved in swimming who you think is worthy of an award in one of the categories, nominations close today for the Swim England National Awards 2018. And ladies and gentlemen, we are almost ready to get the swimming underway this morning. But before we do, we need to meet our officials. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, without further ado, welcome to poolside our referees and their team of technical officials. Please welcome our officials. Your referees for this morning's session are Heather Sumrill and Joanne Highfield. Your starters for this morning's session are Rhiannon Edwards and John Davies. Your technical delegate, Roger Pryor. Officials, you may be seated. Well, we're not too far away from the action getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Jameson here alongside Ewan Dunlop for this morning's and this evening's session. And we cannot wait to get underway for today. Shout out to all the swimmers who are being given plenty of encouragement on Twitter this morning. Skipton, Derwent side are getting in touch to wish their swimmers luck. So too are Poole and Bury and Elton. City of Peterborough, Sevenoaks, everyone getting in touch to wish their swimmers luck. And we all know the phrase in swimming, last one, fast one, and that's the mantra for today. Our first event is the men's 200 metre backstroke. We'll then have the women's iteration, some paraswimming, and then we've got some 50 fly. That's the first up this morning, and without further ado, ladies and gents, it is time to go with heat number one of our first event, the men's 200 metres backstroke. Heat one. And away we go. First event of the final day, 200 metre backstroke. As mentioned, we'll have the women's 200 back after this, and then we've got some power events in the MC, 100 backstroke for both the men and the women. So a lot of backstroke to kick us off today. And then we have the 50 fly, the splash and dash for both the men and the women, and indeed the paraswimmers as well. Then it's men's 400 free. We'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll have the women's 800 metres freestyle. Even with those 800s, it should be a pretty short, sharp session this morning. And let's meet the swimmers in the pool at the moment then. In lane number 2 from Chivres is Elijah Kendrick. In 3 from Blythe Barracudas is Josh Goldsby-Taylor. In 4 from Bolton Metro, Gabriel Taylor-Rimmer. In 5 from Leatherhead is Dominic Morgan. Adam Barrett goes in 6 for Gateshead and Wickham. In 7 from Millfield is David O'Loughlin. And leading the way As they head towards the 150 metre mark, in lane number 5 is Dominic Morgan of Leatherhead. Having a good time of it. At the moment, coming up on his outside there, on his right shoulder is Adam Barrett, who's not too far away, in lane 6. And from the northeast, Gateshead and Wickham. Shiveras Elijah Kendrick now is coming into contention. And we could be quite close for the finish here. And as they come towards the finish, it does look like we are going to see the winner in lane 6, Adam Barrett. In he comes to take the touch. He does get the win, 2:20.89, just in front of Dominic Morgan in lane 5 and Elijah Kendrick in lane 2. Good swim there from Adam Barrett to hold on for the win. Those are the confirmed results on the board of our first heat. We move on to heat number 2. And we're away then in heat number 2. And no lane 6 in this one. In 0 from Stockport Metro is Rhys Grady. In 1 from Camden Swiss Cottage is Donatus Dragasius. In 2 from Derwentside, Joshua Savage. In 3 from Watford is Ketan Rat. In 4 from Kingston upon Hull, Mason Bland. 5 from Brighton is Matthew Hines. In 7 from Taunton Dean is Oliver Hurd. And 8 is City of Salford's Matthew Murphy. And in 9 from Mount Kelly is Timothy Chemerick. Leading away at the halfway point and going well in 1 is Donatus Dragasius from Camden Swiss Cottage. Need a full body length clear of the next flailing arm, which is coming in lane 2 from Joshua Savage. And next to him in 3, Ketan Rat. Derwentside and Watford swimmers respectively. Anything under 2:20 in this heat will be a very, very good time. That's generally round about where most of them entered, 2:20, 2:21, 22. Well, they won't be far off that. I think Donatus Dragasius has a very, very good chance of going quite a way below it as we tick over the 2-minute mark. Joshua Savage now in Derwentside's white hat in 2, looks pretty comfortable in second place. But he's not going to be able to take first place off Donatus Dragasius here in lane 1. Going to go a long way inside 2:20. What is the time for Donatus? It's 2:16.88. Good swim. He takes the victory in our second heat. Derwentside's Joshua Savage is second, and from Watford, Ketan Rat in third. Those are official results confirmed on the scoreboard. We can move on to heat number 3. And away we go. Heat number 3. No lane 3 in heat 3 here. In 0 from Millfield is Matthew Hall. In 1 from Borough of Broxtowe is Zane Batt. 2 from Taunton Dean is Ben Penhale. In 4 from Bolton Metro is Thomas Duxbury. In 5 is Ellis Morgan, he's from Amersham. In 6, Brogan Hyde from Bracknell. In 7 is Basildon and Phoenix's Samuel Costin. In lane 8 from City of Leicester is Alexander Casey, and Spencer Sheard swims for Dane Valley over in lane 9. First to the wall at the halfway point is Brogan of Bracknell in lane 6. Young Mr. Hyde is having a lovely race so far, but he's got a bit of competition arriving now in this back 100 metres. Matthew Hall of Millfield has got away really well off the wall in lane 0. Touched in second. He's very much now up there. He might even have a lead here at this stage. If they come towards the wall, this is where we'll know. Well, Ellis Morgan has taken over at the front of the field. He's in lane 5. The Amersham swimmer with the advantage. Matthew Hall just flagging towards the end of that last 50, and now he's got to go again, but he is. Could be quite a close finish here. Brogan Hyde, I don't think will get back at Ellis Morgan. Matthew Hall giving it everything, but I think Morgan should get there. He will. 2:15.30. Brogan Hyde does get second place. Matthew Hall third. A good swim there from Ellis Morgan to take the win. Waited for his moment in the first 100 metres and then took it over in the second half of the race really, really well. 2:15.30, the winning time. Good 2.5 seconds inside his entry time as well. Just having a little chat there with his lane rival, Brogan Hyde. And those are the confirmed results. Morgan, Hyde and Hall, the 1, 2, 3. We can move on to heat 4. And away in racing in heat number 4. Full complement in the pool as well, which is nice to see. Our first one of the day. In 0 from Sutton and Cheam is Joseph Lenahan. In 1 from Derwent side is Aaron Beckford. Kai Ogden goes in 2 from Hackney. In 3 from Teddington, it's Edward Hunt. In 4, Henry Wyrill from West Dorset. In 5 from Mount Kelly is Maxwell George. From Rugby, Matthew Seaton goes in lane 6. In 7 from Preston, it's Harry Robinson. Luca De Silva from Leicester Sharks is in 8, and completing the field over in lane 9 from Plymouth Leander is Batahan Paker. Quick start once again in lane 5. We saw this in the last race, and this time it's Maxwell George from Mount Kelly who's taken up the mantle. And again in lane 0, we saw this in the last race as well. Joseph Lenahan this time is giving lane 5 something to think about. So from Sutton and Cheam, Aaron Beckford in lane 1. He's not giving up his race without a fight from Derwent's side. As they turn at the wall, it is Maxwell George who leads the way home. It is close though. Not much separating the leading trio at all. In fact, only 0.03 of a second separated second and third. Maxwell George's lead was just about 1/10 of a second, but it may well be diminishing fast. Aaron Beckford is really going for this hit. Maxwell George probably not aware of what's happening away to his right. Will it matter? No, it won't. He gets there just in front of the swimmers on the near side. Really good swim from Maxwell George. 2:13.8 is the winning time. Well inside his entry time as well. Quickest we've seen so far. Aaron Beckford in second place from lane 1. Joseph Lenahan just behind in lane 0. Those are the 1, 2, 3s as we move on to heat number 5. Where we go in heat 5 then, over the halfway point of these men's 200-metre backstroke heats. In 0 from Kingston upon Hull is Alexander Everson. In 1 from Borough Stockton is William Ellis. In 2 from Romford Town, that's Daniel Genkas. In 3 from West Dorset is George Green. 4 from Blackpool Aquatics is Joshua Howlett. In 5 from Northampton is Giovanni Bordoni. In 6 from Basildon and Phoenix is Liam Brennan. In 7 from City of Birmingham, Jamie Dark. And in 8 from Seagulls is Sonny Chamberlain Hyde. Coming towards the 150-metre mark here, leading the way at the halfway point was Liam Brennan in lane 6 from Basildon and Phoenix, and he's held his lead, 1:39.99 at the turn for home. Again, on the near side, we've got a swimmer going very nicely. In lane 1 is William Ellis from Borough Stockton. Something in the water maybe on this near side this morning. He's pushing Liam every stroke of the way. I don't know how good his peripheral vision is, but I don't think he'll be able to see him coming. Just got a swim zone race here, Liam. And he's doing that very, very well indeed. Going to be a good time too. 2:14.01 for Liam Brennan. Sonny Chamberlain Hyde gets second place in 2:14.99. And William Ellis, in the end, just touched into third by that strong finish from Sonny Chamberlain Hyde. But a good swim from Liam Brennan. He won that pretty comfortably in the end. His entry time was 2:16, and he's shaved off a good best part of a couple of seconds off that. And those are the confirmed times and results as we move on to heat 6. swimmers are just clearing the pool, so we have a little bit of time to go to Twitter. Remember, hashtag SE Swimming to get in touch with us today. Alex Jordan is cheering on Laura from Swim Vulcans in the 50 fly. Karen Saunders is back on Twitter. Of course she is. She's been active all week. This time she's looking forward to seeing Mark Neve and Alex all swimming for Team Bath for the Blue and Gold Army. Millie Turner is saying good luck to my little Ginge today. Ella Turner in the 200 back and the rest of Basildon and Phoenix. You said that, not me, Millie. Team Turner from Skipson is looking forward to seeing Maddie today and wishing her the very best of luck. Keep the tweets coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag SE Swimming. And Nikki Taylor has been in touch as well, saying good luck girls from Keynsham, watching from a different poolside this morning but cheering you on even louder, with a picture from the Royal Sunset Beach Club, which let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, looks rather glorious. But who needs that, Nikki? We've got Ponds Forge and we've got Heat 6.
So here we go with heat number 6 of 9, well over halfway through this first event now. In lane 0 of Burnley, Zach Smith Shelley. In lane 1 of Basildon Phoenix, James Cooper. Wolverhampton's Thomas Davidson in 2. In 3, Samuel Williams of Nova Centurion. Carradon's Jackson Spry in 4. Thomas Hill of Southport goes in 5. Wickham District's George Mann in 6. In lane 7, Ross Phillip of Staines. Wickham District's Thomas Poulton in 8. And in 9, from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Andre Stridham. And at the halfway mark, Jackson Spry of Carradon down the centre. Turns in a 103.82, just ahead of the man to his left-hand side, Samuel Williams of Nova Centurion. And it's heat number 6 where we start to see the really fast entry times coming in. 5 or 6 athletes in the pool with entry times in the 2:14s. What can they do in heat number 6? And it looks like lane number 3's Samuel Williams will take the lead with the final 50 to go of Nova Centurion, 137.93. He's taken over. With 50 to go, but also on the far side in lane number 7. Keep your eyes on Ross Phillip of Staines. Looks like a two-man battle with 25 to go in heat number 6. And a plethora of swimmers across the centre of the pool vying for that third spot. And it's most definitely between lanes 3 and 7. Keep your eyes on Samuel Williams and Ross Phillip. Who's going to get it on the touch? It does go to Samuel Williams. Ross Phillip closely behind. And winning that battle for third, George Mann. Samuel Williams a 2:11.91, almost a 3 full seconds ahead of his entry time. And there's your confirmed results. Williams ahead of Ross Phillip and George Mann. And here we go with heat number 7.
Take your
Here we go then with heat number 7, and again the entry times start to tumble. First entry time below the 2:10 barrier, but let's start with the lanes first of all. In lane 0, Jack Sangster of Modernian. Newcastle's Joseph Martin goes in 1. Into Blythe Barracudas, Leonidis Saragines. City of Salford's William Camden in 3. In 4, Samuel Pereira of Enfield. Newcastle's Adam Wilson in 5. James Cross of Wigan Best in 6. In 7, City of Manchester's Matthew Evans. Kieran Rutter in 8 of Sutton and Cheam. And Samuel Beckett of Northampton. He goes in lane number 9. And we come up to the halfway mark. And it is lane number 2 on the far side. Kieran Rutter of Sutton and Cheam turns in 1:02.63. And just to his left-hand side, Matthew Evans of Manchester. He takes second place at the halfway stage. And Saragins in 2 of Blythe Barracudas reigns at that top 3. Plenty of backstroke swimming to go in heat number 7. Again, 9 heats in this first event before we move on to the women. And we approach the 50-metre to go mark. Who's going to turn for home in the lead in heat number 7? It is Leonidis Saragins. He's gone from 3rd to 1st in that third 50 metres. Can he hold on over this final 50? A lot more competitive race in this one. Much tighter across the pool. Again, that entry time, the fastest we've had so far, a 2:09.37, coming from lane 4, Samuel Pereira of Enfield. But he's trailing behind lane number 2. It's Leonidis Saragins of Blythe Barracuda. He's going to take the win in heat number 7 in a very close fight for 2nd and 3rd. Possibly look at lane number 7, Matthew Evans. He does indeed take that just in over a 2:11.11. And rounding out the top 3 goes to Joseph Martin. Fastest time on the board though goes to Saraginis. It's a 2:09.39. First race under 2:10. And we move on to heat number 8. Just waiting for those confirmed results. And there we go. So Blythe Barracudas, Leonidis Saragins just dips under 2:10 ahead of Matthew Evans and Joseph Martin. And we move on to heat number 8. So here we are with the penultimate heat in event number 1 of this morning session on day 5 here at Ponds Forge. In lane 0 with City of Oxford's Luke Wilby. Adam Laws goes in 1, Borough of Kirklees. City of Milton Keynes, Miles Drabwell in 2. In lane 3, Mark Edmondson, Team Bath. Visitor of Denmark, Gustav Freiberg goes in 4. Lane 5, Miles Turner of West Suffolk. James Irwin of Amersham goes in 6. In 7, Windsor's Moritz Hugers. In lane 8, Evan Brunsden of Weston-super-Mare. And in line, Liam Snook of Northampton. And we reach the halfway mark. James Irwin of Amersham leading the pool 8 in a 1:03.30 at the halfway mark ahead of Weston-super-Mare's Evan Brunsden, who's actually tied with Denmark's Gustav Freiberg, both on a 1:03.57. But again, extremely tight across the pool. So the entry times in this one are 2:05 from Gustav Freiberg of Denmark, an incredible time, 2:05.4. And following him, Miles Turner of West Suffolk came in with a 2:09.95. So only the 2nd and 3rd entry times under the 2:10 mark. So lane 4 now, Gustav Freiberg of Denmark. He was in joint second place at the halfway mark, but he's most definitely come through in the second 100 metres, just a half a body length lead ahead of lane number 7. That's Moritz Hughes of Windsor. What can he do over the last 10-15 metres? He's in a fight now as well with lane number 2, Miles Drabwell. The win will go to lane 4, Gustav Freiberg, in a 2:09.78. A fair few seconds behind his entry time, but still manages to take the win in this one. Miles Drabwell, City of Milton Keynes, just pips James Irwin of Amersham for the second and third places. We'll wait for the confirmed results. What a fantastic time there from Gustav Freiberg in lane 4 of Denmark. Just the second time in all these heats under the 2:10 barrier. So just one more heat to go, heat 9, before we move on to the women's 200 metre backstroke. And again, we'll just wait for these confirmed times. And some fantastic entry times coming in heat 9 by 9. We'll talk about those shortly. And there we go, Gustav Freiberg of Denmark, 2:09.78. Just ahead of Moritz Hughes and Miles Drabwell of City of Milton Keynes and Windsor. And here we go with the final heat, heat number 9. And heat number 9 of 9 then in event number 1. Here on the final morning at Ponds Forge in lane 0, Henry Hickson of Loftus Dolphins. Mount Kelly's Jacob Newcomb in lane 1. In lane 2, Samuel Taylor, City of Manchester. Northampton's Matthew Richmond in 3. Denmark's Alexander Gilles in 4. Daniel Jenkins in 5 of City of Oxford. City of Peterborough's Harry Whiteman in 6. Joshua Harris goes in 7 of Nova Centurions. Blackpool's Anthony Wood in 8. And in 9, Sandwell's George Williams. So in lane 4, Alexander Gliese of Denmark, 59.94 on the turn, under a minute to the halfway stage. His entry time, in fact, was a 2 minutes, 1 second, 0.1, so an incredibly fast entry time, a full 8-9 seconds ahead of Daniel Jenkins and Matthew Richmond were the closest to him. And that's being represented quite clearly in the pool also. Turns there with a 1:30.75. Can he possibly go under the 2 minute mark? We'll wait and see. He's going to need a storming last 50 metres, and we'll watch the race behind him for second and third. And it's to his left and right, Matthew Richmond and Daniel Jenkins of Northampton and City of Oxford. They're the ones leading the charge behind Gliese. But he will stroll to the win with 15 metres to go. But keep your eyes on the pool behind as they chase him down as best they can. What is the time? It's a 2 minutes, 0.87, under 2:01, so under his entry time by half a second. And worth of a round of applause, most definitely that one from the crowd. And taking second, Daniel Jenkins at 2:08.67. That's a good second under his entry time. And rounding out that top 3 in heat number 9, Jacob Newcomb of Mount Kelly. We'll wait for these confirmed times, but again, what a fantastic final time in the final heat of the men's 200 metre backstroke. Incredible from Alexander Gliese, 2 minutes, 0.87.
That ends the men's 200 metre backstroke heat for this morning. Got the women's iteration coming up for you very, very shortly. You might have noticed those veterans of the Ponds Forge scene that we do have a new commentator this morning. Ewan making his debut at the National Summer Meet. Drafted him in as a last-minute substitution. Keep us going. Now we are ready to go with our next event, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, it is the women's 200 metre backstroke. We start with heat 1. Underway in the women's 200 back. And one from the city of Sheffield, that is Sophie Bromley. Amber Ranson goes in lane 2 for Atlantis. In 3 from Bolton Metro, that is Georgia Ashton. In 4 from Millfields is Astrid Hanna. In 5 from Southampton is Isabel Turner. In 6 is Harriet Seaton from Reading. In 7 from the Weir Valley is Madison Peveler. And in 8 from Nova Centurion, Heidi Marriott. As they make their way towards halfway. Pretty even start, in truth. Lanes 8 and 7. Pretty much tied with 4 and 2. Marriott, Pevler, Hannah and Ranson all going along pretty well indeed. Astrid Hannah there getting a really good turn off the wall, and that has really contributed to where we see her in the pool now. Field swimmer making up good ground on the underwaters. And now has a very clear lead. Most of these swimmers around the 2:29, 2:30 entry times. Anything below that will be pretty good. And Astrid Hannah here has a very, very good chance of doing just that. In fact, at this point, it'd be remarkable to see her not. 150.26 at the turn with 50 to go. And her lead is only extending. Rest of the field pretty even. Second and third will probably go to one of Heidi Marriott, Madison Peveler, or Amber Ranson. But no doubt about where the wind's going. That will be Astrid Hannah. Just easing up into the final 10 metres. But she's got every right to do that. She's earned that. And 2:28.6 is what she'll walk away with from heat number 1. Inside her entry time. And with gas in the tank, I think, as well. Amber Ranson ending second. Heidi Marriott third. A good swim from Astrid Hannah of Millfield to take the victory in our first heat. Late on the results here while we wait for them to be confirmed. There indeed they are, as if by magic. And we can now move on, ladies and gents, to heat number 2. And away we go then. In our second heat, Lucy Hitchin from the city of Leicester goes in 0. In 1 from Skipton is Madison Turner. In lane 2, Sophia Basaraba from the city of Bradford. In 3 from the city of Manchester Aquatics, that's Jessica Smith. Evie Dilly goes from Middlesbrough in 4. Caris Brayley of Harlow Penguin is in 5. In 6 from Stockport Metro is Martha Hurst. In 7, Freya Barlow from Newbury. In 8 from Kingston upon Hull is Lucy Curran. And in lane 9 from Wickham District is Rebecca Hayward. At the halfway point is Madison Turner, who has the advantage. Not too far behind her in 4 is Evie Dilley. Next in 6 is Martha Hurst. Plenty of support coming in once again on Twitter. Hashtag SE Swimming, get behind them. Carly says good luck to her sister Lauren Braddon swimming in the 200 back this morning. Elise Collins getting some love from Charlotte. Gemma Kent looking forward to Lauren Braddon as well. Madison Pevelet from Weir Valley got a shout out ahead of her race in the last heat from Megan. Steph West says go Jess Mellor. Lots of support coming in, it's lovely to see. As we head into the final 15 metres. In this one, there's not much to choose between them. Lane 4, Evie Dilley has a marginal advantage, not by a lot, but it looks like by enough as she comes into the wall to take the touch just in front of Martha Hurst. 500ths of a second was all that separated them in the end. Madison Turner ending up in 3rd place, but that was a close one. And a good swim from Evie Dilley to take the victory in that one. And we do have a disqualification in that race as well. DQ in lane 7 for a technical infraction. As we can now move on with heat number 3. And underway in heat number 3. Yona Colbert from Grantham goes in 0, out on her own a touch as there's no lane 1. In 2 from City of Salford is Hannah Camden. In 3, Alice Kerslake from Soundwell. In 4 from Royal Wolverhampton School is Chloe Harris. In 5, Jessica Keogh from Hatfield. In 6 from Abingdon Vale is Lottie James. In 7 from Borough of Waltham Forest, that's Isabel Eiley. In 8 from Mount Kelly is Sophie Main. And in 9 from Team Bath, Neve Ward. Quick start being made in lane 2 by Hannah Camden from the City of Salford, and also in the pink cap of Hatfield in 5, Jessica Keogh going well. All the way on the far side in 9 from Team Bath is Neve Ward. She's having a good race too as we come towards the halfway stage. 100 metres gone, 100 metres to go. Leading the way is Hannah Camden from the City of Salford. As we turn for home here, another close one on the cards. Camden has not been able to shake off the challenge of Jessica Keogh, and it's between those two, I think, as we head in towards the final 25. Neve Ward is not far behind in 3, but it would need something pretty special from Neve to turn this lead over as we come into the final 15 metres. Hannah Camden and Jessica Keogh going stroke for stroke here. I think it's Keogh just about has the advantage, but it will be close. They come to the wall, it'll go onto the stroke. Who gets it? It is Jessica Keogh, 2:26.61 in front of Hannah Camden. Neve Ward does indeed claim 3rd from the outside lane, lane 9. A good swim there from Jessica Keogh, just turned it over in the final 50 metres or so. She takes the win, 2:26.61 is the time, and we can move on with heat number 4. go in heat number 4. Here's the halfway point of these 200-metre backstroke heats. In 0 from Wolverhampton is Lily Mae Marston. In 1 from Colchester is Asma Parker. In 2 from City of Cambridge goes Gracie Kay. In 3 is Katie Leary from Royal Wolverhampton School. In 4 from York City is Ella Stabler. In 5 from Derwentside is Annabelle McCrory. In 6 from Wrekin College, that's Eve Lalou. In 7 from Staines is Isabel Harry. In 8 from Nova Centurion, Ella Gallagher. And in 9 from City of Birmingham, Lily Massey. As we head towards the 150-metre mark, probably the most even race we've had in this event so far. No clear leader. Any one of about 5 or 6 could take the win at this stage. Ella Stabler from York City Baths is just about in front, but it really isn't by a lot in lane 4. Anna McCrory, Eve Lalou, Isabel Harry all in with a shout. So too in lane 1, Asma Parker. So we'll come down to the final 25 metres. It's just starting to split now. Ella Stabler is going. So too Annabelle McCrory in 5, but not quite going as quickly as Ella Stabler, who's just found an extra gear here in this final 50 metres. It was close. It's now a little bit more definitive. It will be Stabler who will take the win for York City Baths. What's the time? 2:25.71. But Annabelle McCrory got it on the touch. Wowee. Superb finish from Annabelle McCrory, making me eat my words from Derwentside. 2:25.71. Looked for all the world like Ella Stabler had that in the bag, but a great finish from Annabelle McCrory to tip the scales in her favour and to pip Ella Stabler to the post. Eve Lalou gets 3rd place from Wrekin College. Hopefully confirm results of that one. With an anxious wait on the times, and it looks like we have got a slight alteration as well. Turns out my eyes weren't deceiving me. Ella Stabler has got to change time to 2:25.48, and there we go, confirmed on the board. 2:25.48. The win does go for Ella Stabler. Annabelle McCrory in 2nd, only just behind, with Eve Lalou 3rd. As we look ahead now to heat number 5.
And heat number 5 means we've reached the halfway stage of event number 2 in this morning's session. In lane 0 of Pershaw is Alexandra Barry. In lane 1, City of Peterborough's Mackenzie Wyatt. Going in lane 2, Francesca Whiting of Royal Tunbridge Wells. City of Salford's Lauren Bradley Holt in 3. Amber Dainham of Chesterfield, she goes in 4. Lane 5, Jessica Meller of Cossacks. City of Peterborough's Ella McGee in 6. in 7, Lucy Block of Tame. Southport's Abby Wyatt goes in lane 8, and in lane 9, Francis New of Dulwich Dolphins. Fully 3 or 4 age groups represented in heat number 5, and plenty of entry times, while just 1 second separating all 10 entry times. We're at the halfway stage. It is Francesca Whiting of Royal Tunbridge Wells. She leads 108.73. It's a good 2.5 lead as well. She's streaking ahead already. Hopefully she's left something in the tank. In second place, Alexandra Barry down here in lane 0. And in third, Lauren Bradley Holt of Salford in lane 3. But it's a full body length lead as we approach the final 50-metre turn. In the fight for second, third and fourth, all the remaining places all up for grabs. But it is still Francesca Whiting. It's a 1:45.8. Her entry time coming into this one was a 2:26.88. Again, very, very tight on the entry times. And she'll be looking to break that comfortably if she can carry on over the last 25 metres. Now the race is hotting up behind her. In lanes 3 and 6, Lauren Bradley Holt and Ella McGee, they're fighting out for second and third place. So also keep your eyes on lane number 1 from Mackenzie Wyatt of Peterborough. She's coming through to join that fight, but the win is going to go to the leader of the entire heat in a 2:22.98, Francesca Whiting. That's 4 seconds ahead of her entry time. Incredible heat from her. And in second, just to her side, Lauren Bradley Holt does hold on for second place, and Ella McGee in third. But again, that 2:22.98 from Francesca Whiting, a fantastic time in heat number 5. Just wait for those confirmed times. She led from start to finish, had a full body length lead already at the halfway stage and maintained that throughout. And we'll just wait before we move on to heat number 6, wait for those confirmed times to come up. Again, 3 age groups represented in that one. And there's been a disqualification from lane number 3. And there we go. Francesca Whiting confirmed the winner. Ella McGee second, Mackenzie Wyatt third. And we move on to heat number 6. Heat number 6 in lane 0, Ella Riggle of City of Bristol. In lane number 1, Libby Freeman of Tynemouth. In 2, Paige Coombs of Guildford. Hillingdon's Emily Driver goes in 3. Tara Box in lane 4 of Tigers Jersey. Western Supermare's Madeline Soper in 5. Tamsin Myburgh goes in 6 of Thanet. Basil and Phoenix's Ella Turner goes in 7. Gerda Vasilias Keita goes of Ellesmere, she goes in 8. And in 9, Ella Dyson of Wickham. Every single entry time in the 2:26s for this one. Who's going to be leading at the halfway stage? 3 or 4 involved at this 100-metre mark. And the first touch goes to Madeline Soper in lane number 5, 1:10.10. Very closely followed, just a few tenths behind in lane number 2, Paige Coombs. And just less than half a second behind her, Emily Driver of Hillingdon. And it's these 3 out in front with 75 to go. Can anybody join them? It's pretty much a straight line across the pool behind those front 3. And as we find in these middle heats, plenty of age groups represented, everything from 12-year-olds up to 16-year-olds in the pool. So not necessarily a straight fight between your left and right. And she maintains that lead. Madeleine Soper of Weston-super-Mare, 147.29 with 50 metres to go. Paige Coombs in lane 2. And then Emily Driver comes through to take third place at the moment, 50 to go in lane 3. And Madeleine Soper just edging further and further towards that final touch mark. A full body length lead now and plenty more involved in the fight for second and third. Keep your eyes on lanes 2 and 3. It's Paige Coombs and Emily Driver. They were second and third with 50 to go, but on the far side of the pool, Turner, Myber, Soper all involved. The win will go to Soper. She led from start to finish and grew that lead throughout the heat, 2:25.52. Second place does go to Emily Driver. And in third, Tamsin Myber comes through in the final 25 metres. Then it to rain down that top 3. Just pipping Gerda Vasilievskaite. So a fantastic heat number 6. Before we move on to heat number 7 very shortly, just wait for these confirmed times. And the 2:25 from Madeleine Soper. That's a full second ahead of her entry time. It's a fantastic heat for her, the girl from Weston-super-Mare.
Just while the times are being checked by our officials. Oh, well, just as I say that, we can now confirm those results of heat number 6 as we move on to heat number 7. And here we go then with heat number 7, already 50 metres completed in lane 0. Millie Rawls of Exeter, Bromley's Imogen Mears in lane number 1, Soundwell's Heather Whitcomb goes in lane 2. In lane 3, Lauren Stott of Hatfield, City of Bristol's Ryan Munden in 4. In 5, Neve James of Bishop Stortford, City of Hereford's Evie Johns in 6. In 7, Lara Richmond of Wickham, Daventio XL's Naoma Dilly in 8, and in 9, Charlotte Norman of Colchester. And it's a comfortable lead for Orania Munden of Bristol in lane number 4 at the halfway mark. That's the strongest lead we've had in all of the heats so far, almost 2 full body lengths. Then a great fight to her right-hand side in lanes 5, 6 and 7. It's Lara Richmond, Evie Johns and Neve James. And then on this near side of the pool also, lanes 0 and 1, Millie Rawls and Imogen Mears all involved in that fight for second and third, and the fight to try and chase down your leader, Orania Munden, with 50 to go. Does not look like losing that lead whatsoever. Now the fight is getting a little bit closer. The closest in touch is lane number 7, Lara Richmond of Wickham. But Oriana Munden in lane 4 still looks like she's going to streak this one home with 25 to go. And that fight for second most definitely being won as it stands by Lara Richmond. The fight for third a lot closer. Lane 0, 1, 5 and 6 all involved. But the win is going to go to Oriana Munden. She's led from start to finish strongly as well at 2:18.93.
Entry time was a 2:21.27, so almost, 2.5 seconds clear of entry time. Second place does in the end go to Laura Richmond. She was the strongest chaser, just ahead of Evie Johns in lane number 6. At 2:18.93, fantastic time in heat number 7 for Ariana Munden of Bristol. And in the end, a good fight for second, third and fourth as well. That one being won by Laura Richmond in lane number 7. So we'll have a quick look at the hashtag. Newest one coming in. Again, it's hashtag SE Swimming. And from Kim Bond, she says, good luck Evie Dilly in the 200 backstroke. Left Sheffield all at MASC. And Sally Stevens also getting involved. Alexia says, good luck to her sister Kiana and all the City of Leicester swimmers. And a couple of four-leaf clovers in there just for good measure as well.
Yeah, that's how you know good luck is being properly wished, when you get the four-leaf clover emojis in there. Lorraine Neve, I should say, is getting in touch as well. So go Megan Neve from City of Derby in the 100 back MC. Megan has been superb in the multi-class races this week, and should be hoping to do the same and confirm those results. We do have a disqualification in lane number 3, disqualification in lane 3 for a technical infraction. We can now move on to heat number 8.
So the first 50 done in the penultimate heat of event number 2. On day number 5, in lane 0, Emily Ford, City of Oxford. Salford's Emma Jones in 1. In lane 2, Jessica Shaw, Birmingham Uni. Haventon Waterlooville's Gemma Elliott, she goes in lane number 3. In lane 4, Emily Peck of Preston. Borough of Kirklees, Rebecca Thornton goes in 5. City of Peterborough's Emma Leslie in 6. Megan Pye, City of Norwich in 7. In lane 8, Ellie Westerby, City of Hereford. And Portsmouth North Sea's Katie Baxter in lane number 9 as we reach the halfway stage already. 105.99 for Birmingham Uni's Jessica Shaw. A good couple of seconds, a second or so ahead of lane number 4's Emily Peck of Preston. So again, we have seen a couple of good leads in these the last 2 or 3 heats. And again, we've seen that in heat number 8, lane number 2. Jessica Shaw is a comfortable one. Although just in these last 25 metres only, lane number 4's Emily Peck, she was in second place at the halfway mark. She's still in second, but it's a lot closer now. So 1:42 for Shaw and a 1:43 for Emily Peck. So it is a little bit closer. What can she do over these final 30 metres? In lane number 5, Rebecca Thornton, she's held on to third place throughout the first 150, and it looks like these 3 are going to be involved in that top 3. But as with every single heat, there's plenty of age groups involved, so it doesn't matter really what your position is in the heat, it's compared to your fellow age group athletes. But the win is going to go to Jessica Shaw. Birmingham Uni is a 2:18.78, fantastic time. Emily Peck holds on to second place, and Rebecca Thornton comes through to take third of Borough of Kirklees. The entry times on that one. So Jessica Shaw, her winning time 2:18. Entry time was 2:23. So that's 5 full seconds clear of her entry time. Fantastic heat for Jessica Shaw. And then just outside the 2:20, Emily Peck. She did everything she could to chase down Shaw. still took second place. And there's the confirmed times. Jessica Shaw from Emily Peck and Rebecca Thornton. And we move on to heat number 9. So the 9th and final heat underway in event number 2, the women's 200 metre back. In lane 0 of Tadcaster, Ellie Walker. In 1, Laura Braddon of Maidstone. Northampton's Isabel Hume in 2. Emily Lane of Basildon Phoenix goes in 3. Sarah Sylvestre in lane 4 of Denmark. City of Derby's Eleanor Mitchell in 5. Ellie Wheeler of Basildon Phoenix in 6. City of Milton Keynes, Ayana Lawson, she goes in 7. Robin Moons in 8 of Thanet Swim. And Wickham District's Avani Gill goes in lane number 9. And it's not hard to see who's winning this one. Lane number 4, Sarah Sylvestre, the guest from Denmark, a 106.88 at the halfway mark. Her entry time was a 2:17.37. So if she can match that again over the second 100, so a tall ask. She'll be looking to crack her entry time. And the remainder of the pool over in lane number 8. Robin Moon leads the rest of the pool through from Thanet, 108.94. But if she looked to her left, she would see a strong chasing pack from lanes 6, 3 and 1. Ellie Wheeler, Emily Lane and Laura Braddon leading that charge down with 50 to go, though it is of course Sarah Sylvestre of Denmark who leads with 50 to go, 1:42.43. And then come through the times. Robin Moons come through that second or third 50 to take second place with 50 to go of Thanet, only marginally ahead of Ellie Wheeler, and Emily Lane drops down to 4th into that final 50. And it is lane 6 and 8 leading the chase. Ellie Wheeler and Robin Moon, they're not going to be able to catch Sarah Sylvestre of Denmark. She's going to take the win in the final heat, heat number 9. But it's a cracking fight between 6 and 8. It's Ellie Wheeler and Robin Moon. It's going to go to the final touch, the final stretch out towards the ball. Who's going to get it on the line? It is indeed just goes to Ellie Wheeler, 2:23.5, just 300ths ahead of Robin Moon. A fantastic final 50 between those two. But everybody trailing behind Sarah Sylvestre of Denmark. We'll just wait for these times to be confirmed. And there we go. Sarah Sylvestre does take the win, 2:18. Ellie Wheeler and Robin Moon fighting out for second and third, just ahead of Isabel Hume.
And those are the confirmed results up on the board for the women's 200 metre backstroke, heat number 9. As our swimmers clear the pool ahead of our next event. Got some paraswimming on the way for you, ladies and gents. We stick with the backstroke though. Got the men's, then the women's multi-class 100 metres backstroke. 3 heats for the men, 3 heats for the women. And that's what we've got next coming up for you in the water here at Ponds Forge. And without further ado, we are ready for our first race. It's the men's multi-class 100 metre back. We start with heat 1. away we go with our first heat, the men's multi-class 100 metre backstroke. 3 S14 swimmers in this one, in lanes 2, 3 and 4. In 2 is Liam Hardy from City Manchester Aquatics, 3 Joshua Fairchild from Coventry, and 4 from Cockermouth is Evan Holt. Then we've got 2 S9 swimmers in lanes 5 and 6, Dominic Redpath from Portsmouth North Sea, and in 6 Luke Batty from Bolton Metro. If you've never seen multi-class swimming before, this is para-swimming. Each of these swimmers are swimming in their various lanes in their various classifications, and it is all relative, so they'll be looking to get as close to their respective British records for their classification as possible. The closer they get, the more points they score. It's not on time, this race, it is on points. So first to touch in lane 5 will be the S9 swimmer from Portsmouth North Sea, that's Dominic Redpath. How many points is he going to put on the board? 507, that's very decent. Evan Holt comes in just behind him with 4.31 for the S14s, 4.33 for Luke Batty, who touched in third, but as he is in the S9 class, got himself second place in the race. So a good example there of how multi-class works with 2 classes on the go in that one. Confirmed results are on the board. Dominic Redpath with 5.07, Luke Batty with 4.33, Holtz with 4.31 in third. It looks like we're just about ready to go with our next event. This is Heat 2. And away we go then, and a real variety of classes in this one. We'll go through the start list by class. It'll make things a little bit easier to follow. So we'll start with the S14s. In lane 3 from Scarborough is Angus Leckenby. In lane 5 from Littlehampton is Caleb Grace. 6 from City of Oxford is Christopher Curry. And in lane 8 from Littlehampton is Marcus Harvey. Got an S10 swimmer in lane 4. We're expecting Connor Ballard from Leatherhead to be the quickest through to the wall in this one. 2 S8 swimmers in lanes 2 and 7. From Orion, Scott Hadley in 2. And from Haventon Waterlooville, Benjamin Pope in 7. And then on the outside, in lanes 0 and 1, are the S7 swimmers from Harrogate, Nathan Dolliston. And in 1 from Mount Kelly is Alexander Hobbs. And 1 S6 swimmer, all the way over in lane 9, is Asa Bevington from the City of Manchester Aquatics. Yep, Connor Ballard leads the way. We did expect this. The S10 swimmer is a very good S10 swimmer as well. And he's really gone for it in this race. He entered in 1:14. He's going to be just inside that, I think. 1:14.36. Yeah, about 2/10 inside his entry time. Good swim. 4.56 on the multi-class points. 3.74 for our first S14 swimmer. And 3.94 for our S8 swimmer, Scott Hadley. So he moves into second place in this race. What can our S7s do on the near side? 3.70 for Alexander Hobbs from Mount Kelly. So the top 3, as it stands. And it won't change with Nathan Dolliston touching in here in lane 0. And he'll get 231 points. Top 3 as it stands, Connor Ballard with 4.56, 3.94 for Scott Hadley in lane 2, 3.74 from Angus Leckenby in lane 3. Asa Bevington is the S6 swimmer in lane 9, coming towards the end of his race. Last few strokes for Asa. Help him in, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes in to take the touch and end the race. 2.17 is good for 138 points. There you see another fine example of multi-class swimming. 3 different classifications in the top 3 positions, all based on points, not time. Of course, if you've been with us all week here at Ponds Forge, you'll be very au fait with it by now, but we always try and welcome new spectators into the sport of paraswimming. It's a wonderful sport to watch, and we try and make it easy for those who are new. And without further ado, it looks like we're ready to move on to our next heat. This is Heat 3. And away we go in heat number 3. Cluster of S14 swimmers in the middle lane, starting in lane 2 with Peter Harper from Marlborough, Billy Birchmore from Orpington, Owen Garsides from Kingston upon Hull, Ryan Potter in 5 from Blackpool Aquatics, George Eldridge from Brompton in 6, and from Littlehampton in 7, Joseph Greaves. Then got an S9 swimmer in 1, Rowan Brennan from Basildon and Phoenix. Jamie Markle is an S8 swimmer from Orion in 0. And Bruce D is swimming in the S6 class from Northampton in lane 9. And first the wall should be Owen Garsides from Kingston upon Hull. Did register the quickest entry time for this event. 1:12.96. He goes quicker than that. 1:11.97. 5:58 in the heat is pretty good. That's the highest points total we've seen so far. The rest of the S14 starting to come in as well. 4:48 from Ryan Potter. Now, can our S9 swimmer top that? No. 3:77 for Rowan Brennan. So at the minute, it's an all S14. 1, 2, 3. And Garside's leading that. Jamie Markle, don't think we'll change things in lane 0, but we'll wait and see what the score will be. 2:16 for Jamie in the S8 class. So our 1, 2, 3 looks like it's going to be Owen Garsides, Ryan Potter and Billy Birchmore as Bruce D on the far side in lane 9 comes in to finish his race. The S6 swimmer from Northampton, final couple of strokes and he gets in. 1:81 for Bruce D in the S6 class. A real variety of classifications, but also ages in that one. Bruce D on the far side, only 12 this year. And his first exposures to a national meet. There's many more. And our swimmers throw the pool. We are almost ready for our women's 100 back. 3 heats again of this one. A little bit of splash and dash with the men's and women's 50 metres fly. And it looks like we're just about ready down on the pool deck, ladies and gents, for our next event. It's event 504, women's multi-class 100 metre backstroke, and we start as ever with heat number 1. And we're away then in heat number 1 of the women's 100-metre MC backstroke. Once again, exactly the same as the men's race, multi-class, lots of ages, lots of classifications, lots of different times. I'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening as best we can. An S14 swimmer in lane 2, that's Erin Boyles from Workington. S13 swimmer in lane 4 is Katie Crowhurst from Wickham District. S12 swimmer from Northampton in lane 7, that's Scarlett Humphrey. And it's down to a couple of S10s, Drew Stables in 5 from Cockermouth and Eleanor Bamber from Satellite in 3. A couple of S7 swimmers are Grace Ella Cooper-Holmes in 6 from Cockermouth and Isla Howe in 8 from Nova Centurion. And one S6 swimmer, Georgia Howell from Littlehampton in 1. So in lane 4, it will be Katie Crowhurst to touch in first in the S13 class from Wickham District. She's been on the podium quite a few times this week. I wonder what sort of points total we can see from Katie here as she comes to touch in. 5.69 is very good. Nicely done. 120.63 from Katie. 4.57 from Drew Stables in the S10 class is also pretty decent as well. Erin Boyles, the S14 class, I don't think we'll get too close to that. No, 2.98. So as the rest of our swimmers touch in, that's a great score from Grace Ella Cooper-Holmes. 5.74, the S7 swimmer from Cockermouth. Very, very good indeed. Superb swim that from Grace Ella Cooper-Holmes. 400 for Georgia Howell. Meanwhile, on the near side, Isla Howe will come in on the far side to touch in to complete the race. But a great swim there from Grace Ella Cooper-Holmes to win that one. 5.74 the points total. Just pipping Katie Crowhurst by 5 multi-class points. It was a good swim from Katie as well. 5.69 is very good. Anywhere above 500 really is very good at this meet. And some really nice swims indeed. Drew Stables was third with 4.57. That's me yet. We're almost ready to go for our second heat here. Full complement in the pool, I think, hopefully. For heat number 2 of the women's MC 100 metres backstroke. Looks like we're just about ready down on poolside, so I'll hand you over to our officials for heat 2. And away we go in heat 2. Moving through the classifications here, we start with the S14s in lane 3 from Wickham District. That's Fern Yanu. In 4th from City of Sheffield, and leading the way, City of Salford I should say, in the early going is Georgia Sheffield in lane 4. In lane 6 is Devonport's Abigail Daly. In the S12 class from Northampton is Eliza Humphrey in lane 7. In the S10 classification is Coral Farrell from Warrington Warriors. She goes in lane 5. And the S9 swimmer from Orion is Emily Jane Surgener in lane 8. A couple of S8 swimmers, or one S8 swimmer I should say, Elizabeth Foster from Haventon Waterlooville in 0. Then 2 S7 swimmers, Leah O'Connell from Camden Swiss Cottage in 1, and Emily Holder from Harrogate in lane 9. Quickest to the wall we fully expect to be Georgia Sheffield in the S14 class. Enter the time of 1:18.30. just 13 this year. Georgia Sheffield, one of the youngest swimmers in this event, and she gets a good time as well. 5.31, that is very nicely done indeed. 5.23 for Coral Farrell as well in the S10s. A couple of really good scores in the early going here. Our two swimmers here in 6 and 3 won't change that too much as they're already in the S14 category, so we can see the sort of times and points that we're expecting. Now, what can Emily Jane Surgener in the S7s do? Eliza Humphrey touching in the S12s in lane 7 now with 2.52. Leah O'Connell in the S7 class is going to score 408 points from Camden Swiss Cottage in lane 1. That's very nicely done. 201 for Emily Jane Surgener, and we now know, with our various classifications touching in, that the swimmers who are coming in now won't affect the top 3, but let's give Emily Holder from Harrogate our support, ladies and gentlemen, either way. She comes in towards the final 5 metres. The S7 swimmer from Harrogate just up the road here in Yorkshire, and she takes the touch to complete the race. So a couple of really good swims at the top of that one, in particular from Coral Farrell in lane 5 and Georgia Sheffield in lane 4. Coral Farrell in the S10s from Warrington, 17 this year. Georgia Sheffield, 4 years her junior. In the S14 category in lane 4. It looks like we are good to go with our final heat, the women's MC 100 metre backstroke. This is heat 3. And here we go then, real variety of classifications in this race. So we'll start with the S14 swimmer in lane 4. That's Megan Nee from the City of Derby. Very, very good S14 swimmer at that as well. Then it's the S13 swimmer from Wisbeach in 6. That's Anya Falcus. S10 swimmer in 7 from Nuneaton is Eva French. And we've got a few S9 swimmers. Madeline Harris in 2 from Elmbridge. In 3, Jay McCabe from Derwent-side. And in 5 from Birmingham University is Fiona Butler. S8 swimmer in lane 8 is Genevieve Hunter from Beachfield. S7 swimmer in lane 1 from Camden Swiss Cottage is Charlotte Hyde. And on the outsides, in lanes 0 and 9 are 2 S6 swimmers from Mount Kelly, Katie Moss in 0, and from Northampton, Ellie Spokes in 9. And as we come towards the finish of this one, it is Megan Neve, who is the S14 swimmer from City of Derby, who leads the way. That is to be expected. She's not only in the S14 class, she's also very good in the S14 class as well. How many points will she get, though, is the question. We've already seen some good scores. 5.75, Megan Neve. Great swim. 1:17.01 is very nicely done indeed. Can our S9 swimmers get close to that? Well, not bad from Jay McCabe and Fiona Butler. 5.15 and 4.89 from those two respectively. Mention anything over 500 or close to 500 is very good, and we've seen plenty of that so far this morning. And what can our swimmers in the outside lanes do? Charlotte Hyde coming in lane 1 gets 4.75. Good swim from Charlotte Hyde in the S7 classification. Is everyone in now, bar our S6 swimmers on the outside. So help them along, ladies and gentlemen, as they pass in front of you. Katie Moss on the near side, Ellie Spokes on the far. Katie Moss comes in 2.90 for her. And Ellie Spokes is the young S6 swimmer from Northampton. 15 years old this year. And she's looking to get inside 2:18.22, which is her entry time. I think she's just going to be outside of it. Good swim either way, though, from Ellie Spokes. 220.19 for 195 points. So we are almost ready for our next event, which we'll go straight through. We've got 50 fly for both the men, the women, and in the para classes as well, before the men's 400 freestyle will round out the morning. Got a very short break, and then the women's 800 metre freestyle to get us through the early part of this afternoon. Flying through the races this morning. Especially fly through the next half an hour or so with quite literally the 50 metres flight. So it looks like we're just about ready on poolside. Our officials making the final checks for event 505. The men's 50 metres butterfly. We start with heat 1.
Take your marks.
So the first heat of 8 in lane 0, Robbie Brindley, then Damon Elliott, Finlay Washburn, Samuel Pyfinch, Joshua Weston, Matthew Hargreaves, Elijah Kendrick, Ashley Donaldson, and in 8, Dean Ahmed. Fastest entry time came from Joshua Weston, 28.69. In fact, 3 swimmers in the pool from those lanes. It's lanes 3, 4 and 5. But my goodness me, could draw a straight line across the pool. Just keeps your eyes on the scoreboard. Damon Elliott gets it in lane number 1, Dunno Atlantis. In lane on the outside, Dean Ahmed of Solihull gets second place ahead of Finlay Washburn of Plymouth in 3. And we move on to heat number 2, and they're all going to be that quick. If anything, they're going to get slightly quicker as the heats go on.
Take your marks.
And here we go with heat number 2 in lane 0. Harrison Ryder in 1, Frankie Docking-Smith in 2, Alexander Coyle 3, Nathan Ong 4, David O'Loughlin 5, Samuel Tucker 6, Nathan Podutier 7, Callum Smart 8, Samuel Brooks 9, Aidan McCullough. They're already 15 metres out, and keep your eye on lane number 5. That is Samuel Tucker. And also on the outside lanes, lane number 9. Who's going to get it? It's going to be between those two. It does go to Samuel Tucker, and just ahead, David O'Loughlin just out touches Aidan McCullough to round out that top 3. 28-second entry times, but a 27.97 for Frankie McLaughlin. And here we go to heat number 3.
Take your marks.
Heat number 3 from the near side in lane 0. It's Alistair Roberts in 1, Jack Gartside 2, Maxwell George 3, Archie Dunn 4, Daniel Murta 5, Adam Jones 6, Oliver Hall 7, Kieran Riches 8, Daniel Genkus, and in 9, Samuel Rose. A little bit tighter this time, but again on the far side, lane number 9. Keep your eye on Samuel Rose. And lane number 3, Archie Dunn. It looks like those two just with their hands in front, but who's going to get the final touch on the board? It does go to Archie Dunn, just out touching Samuel Rose. It's a 27.23 ahead of 27.54 for Samuel Rose, and winning the fight for third, Maxwell George of Mount Kelly, 27.67. And we move straight on to heat number 4. Heat number 4 already halfway through these heats. In 0, Danny Skinner. In 1, Thomas Johnston. In 2, Matthew Crawford. In 3, William Brooks. 4, Joseph Thompson. 5, Ismail Rahim. 6, Frederick Krieger. 7, Joseph Packham. And 8, Patrick Heeks. A lot tighter this time, but all on the far side. Lanes 5, 6, 7 and 8, all involved. Who's going to get it on the touch? Keep your eye on the score, but it does go to lane number 8, Patrick Heeks. 26.76, the first time inside 27. Second place will go to Ismail Rahim, and in third place it does go to Joseph Packham of Portsmouth. And we move on to heat number 5. And here we go, heat number 5, in lane 0, Thomas Dugdale. 1, Thomas Watkin. 2, Louis Choron. 3, Herbie Kinder. 4, Alexander Sharman. 5, Colin Salaboko. 6, Toby Sujwade. 7, Lewis Edwards Pratt. 8, Samuel Crew. And in 9, Adam Akik. And my goodness, this is the best lead we've had so far. Lane number 6, Toby Sujwade. He's going to take the win. It's the only one we can call so far in the heats. What's his time though? 26.31. Just ahead of the outside lane, Adam Akik in 9, 26.87. And also inside 27 seconds, the top 3, Colin Salaboko, 26.94. And we move on to heat number 6. Heat number 6, and this is where the fast entry times start coming in 0, Shay Rice. 1, Matthew Ferguson. 2, Louis Mitchell. 3, Sonny Trigg. 4, Jacob Lee. 5, Samuel Goldricks. 6, Charles Messenger. 7, Max Nugent. And in 9, Andre Stridham. And it's coming down through lane number 4 from the centre. He's leading a triangle of athletes there, but it's going to be number 4. Jacob Lee gets the win, 25.25. And to his left and right, both inside 26 seconds. Samuel Goldrick and Sonny Trigg round out the top 3, all inside 26 seconds. And we move on to heat number 7. Penultimate heat number 7 in the men's 50-metre butterfly. Lane 0, Aaron Cox. In 1, Zachary Patel. 2, William Graham. 3, Jamie Blacks. 4, Sebastian Overson. 5, William Slawson. 6, Thomas Bloor. 7, Christian Ty. 8, George Ragraffin. And in 9, Cameron Lewis. And again, it's lane number 4, streaking through Sebastian Overson, the guest from Denmark. What's his time going to be? He's going to get the win. It's a 25.17. William Graham just breaks 26 seconds and a 25.99. And in third place, dead on, just 100th of a second behind, it goes to his namesake, William Slawson. And we move on to the final heat, heat number 8. And the final heat, heat number 8 of 8 in 0, Jack Simpson in 1, Bradley Gordon 2, Robert Burton 3, Adam Frost 4, Jonas Kerstrop 5, Dominic Wildridge 6, Tom Downs 7, Thomas Clare 8, Benjamin Samuel, and in 9, Joshua Smith. And it is the 3 central lanes, lanes 3, 4 and 5, particularly Jonas Kerstrop and Dominic Wildridge. They're fighting it out for the top 3 in heat number 8. Just 500 separate the two of them. It's Jonas Kerstrop of Denmark takes it in 25.02, just outside breaking the 25 mark. Dominic Woodridge 25.08, and again inside 26 seconds. Adam Frost of Satellite, he takes it just ahead of Tom Downs in 4th. And now it's time for the girls. This is the women's 50-metre butterfly, heat number 1 of 9.
So we're almost ready for the start of the women's 50 fly. Do keep your messages of encouragement coming in on Twitter, hashtag SE Swimming. Lots of support for the 50 flies in particular. Lou's been in touch, the Wells family in Kings Lynn, saying go Sammy for Sam Rose in heat number 3 of this one. Royal Tunbridge Wells shouting out their swimmers. Karen Sordenders once again in touch on Twitter as well. Sherry Excel and Dutch Dolphins getting behind there, guys. Lottie is cheering on her best friend Elise Collins at Pond Sport in Sheffield today. Good morning to you, Lottie. And we're ready to go. This is heat 1. Away we go then. In 0, 2, 8, Valeria Giron, Hermione Rose, Sophie Jones, Josephine Klein, Hannah Woodcock, Jessica Lawton, Kira Taylor, Hattie Varley and Isla Williams. 20 metres to go then, and leading the way in 4 is Hannah Woodcock from Pershore in the golden hat, and she's just got a marginal advantage, about half a body length in this one. Started really well and has just followed that through really all the way to the end as she takes a touch. Sub 30 to start us off. Well, if that isn't a message of intention, then I'm not sure what is. Great start to the women's 50 fly. Hannah Woodcock goes 29.63. We move on to heat number 2. In 0 through 9, Ellie Horton, Evie McLean, Brooke Illingworth, Isabel Eiley, Ella Prescott, Madeline Squires, Matilda Bogle, Mia Stevenson, Kira Hancock, Tallulah Paisley. Halfway through, very close so far, but just starting to emerge in lane 4 is Ella Prescott from the city of Liverpool in the red hat. Going along with her though in 3 is Isabel Eiley from Borough of Waltham Forest. And Isabel is starting to take this one over. It'll go down to the touch. Who gets it? It is Isabel Eiley. Lovely swim. 29.78 for Isabel. Tallulah Paisley, rather, all the way over on the far side in 9. Ended up snatching second place from Ella Prescott in the middle. Great swim there from Tallulah. Isabel Eiley wins it though. Paisley second, Prescott third as we round out heat 2. And we look ahead to heat 3.
Take your mark.
0 through 9. 0, Charlotte Berry, Abigail Parkinson, Isabel Kay, Isabella Acaro, Jana Cooper Marcos, Tiana Porter, Kiana Kowal, Libby Dunford, Olivia Lee, and Claudia DeVivo. And this one is another close one, making a great start on the near side. In the red hat, the city of Sheffield, is Charlotte Berry. Can she hold on? She did have the lead as she passed in front of us. Going to be a close one, making a stake. A claim for it is Tiana Porter in the middle, so too Libby Dunford. It's Charlotte Berry who holds on though. 29.42, an outside smoker from the city of Sheffield in lane 0. Libby Dunford gets second place in 7, Tiana Porter third in 5. Great swim there from Charlotte Berry to take the win in her home pool as we move on to Heat 4.
Take your mark. Stand down.
So we'll go with take 2 of the start very, very shortly. It's back with our referees. Heat 4.
Take your mark.
And away at the second time of asking then. 0 to 9, Natalie Sanford, Zoe Naylor Perrott, Georgia Pease, Krista Wilson, Mia Carter, Lydia Smith, Caitlin Ebbage, Elise Collins, Yasmin Sheffield, and Lauren Stott. Great swim so far in lane 0 from Natalie Sanford. Are we about to have our second straight lane 0 victory? She certainly hopes so. The St Felix School swimmer is going along very nicely, and she does get there. 29.26 is the quickest we've seen so far. Lovely swim from Natalie Sanford, doing exactly what Charlotte Berry did in the last heat. Mia Carter picks up second in lane 4 and in lane 7, and third was Elise Collins. Lovely swim there from Natalie Sanford. Our second straight lane 0 victory as we move on to heat number 5.
Take your mark.
In 0, Holly White, 1, Leah Evans, 2, Sky McLaughlin, 3, Megan Dean, 4, Ellie Foster, 5, Ellie Val, 6, Laura Dickinson, 7, Amelia Stone, 8, Daisy Lovegrove, and 9, Meredith Harness. Final 10 metres then, and a quick start again has been made in lane 0. She's not a third in a row. Holly White looking very good though. She's got competition in the middle. I think it's going to go lane 6 or 9, and it goes lane 9. We've got another outside winner. That's 29.10 for Meredith Harness. Holly White in the end nudged out to 4th. Laura Dickinson and Megan Dean just pipping her to the post, but another outside lane victor. This time it's on the other side. This time it's Meredith Harness who gets the win as we move on to heat 6.
Take your. Stand down, swimmers. Take your mark.
Away and racing 0 through 9. Rhiannon Evans, Amy West, Faye Francis, Annabelle Smith, Olivia Heron, Rebecca Amore, Abigail Lacey, Abigail Poulton, Rachel Cornford and Jordan Rogers-Mills. Close start then, making a bit of a break for it though. In lane 6 is Abigail Lacey. Coming strong in the final 10 metres, Annabelle Smith in 3. Between those two I think, although someone could surprise me. Abigail Lacey does get there though, 29.47 into the wall. Rachel Cornford picks up second in lane 8. Faye Francis in third position in lane 2. Good swim there from Abigail Lacey, 29.47, the winning time in heat number 6 as we move on to heat number 7.
Take your mark.
In 0, Tilly Mays, 1, Charlotte Stevenson, 2, Imogen Gold, 3, Neola Thorpe, 4, Sophie Maguire, 5, Jasmine Eiley, 6, Charlotte Hall, 7, Megan Pye, 8, Mia Leach, 9, Isabel Hume. Final 20 metres, and this is a close one. Closest one we've seen actually in a little while, but lane 2, Imogen Gold is just trying to power through and forward past the rest, and so too is Jasmine Eiley in lane 5, who gets there, 28.94. First swimmer underneath 29 seconds is Jasmine Eiley from the borough of Waltham Forest. Good swim that from 17-year-olds in lane number 5. Imogen Gold second, and Neola Thorpe was third. Great swim from Jasmine Eiley though to take the win in heat 7 as we move on to heat 8.
Take your mark.
And away we go in heat 8, 0 through 9. Jessica Woodward, Emily Ford, Scarlett Peacock, Poppy Richardson, Regit Sagard, Julia Svensson, Rachel Bowen, Macy Lawrence, Sasha Thomas and Caitlin Cambrook. We'll see a couple of our Danish guests in this one in lanes 4 and 5. Julia Svensson in 5, Regit Sagard in 4. And it's those two who are making a claim to win this one, but going nicely in lane 1 to upset them possibly is Emily Ford. Only good enough for third in the end for Emily, but Julia is in second, Regitza in first. Both Danes going underneath the 29-second barrier. Emily Ford just outside that, 29.13 is good enough for the pick of the English swimmers. Heat number 8 is over. We look forward to heat number 9.
Take your mark.
And away we go. A few swimmers missing in this one. In lane 0, Charlotte Moores, 1, Elizabeth Woodcock, 4, Cecilia Veerf, 5, Eva Akaro, 6, Leah Walker, 8, Sophie Shaw, and 9, Ella McNamara. And it is our Danish swimmer in lane 4, Cecilia Veerf, who's going to win it, 28.03. Quickest we've seen so far from Cecilia. She gets the win there. Eva Akaro in second place, 28.8, and Sophie Shaw in third with 29.5. Good swim from Eva Akaro there, only the second English swimmer underneath the 29-second barrier. She is in one of our younger classes as well. She's in the 12-13 class, is Eva Akaro, so do keep an eye on her in the finals this evening. Second quickest English swimmer of the event, and she's one of the youngest. Well done to Eva Akaro. We do now have our paraswimmers up next. We start with the men's multi-class 50-metre flight. Heat 1 of 1. And we go now to our officials for Heat 1. And away we go with our men's multi-class 50 This is an event that traditionally in paraswimming is only open to those in the lower classifications, so that's why we only have 1 heat of each. These 3 are all in the S6 classification, which makes this very straightforward. It'll still be decided on points, but it will be the first one to touch is the first one to win. 2 medals on offer for our swimmers here. Leo McRae in lane 5 is making a claim for gold ahead of William Perry, and it is going to go to Leo McRae. He's going to take the gold. 4.27 for the Bournemouth collegiate man. William Perry in second will get a silver. And Bruce Deep, the young man from Northampton, touches in third place to complete the race. So it will be Leo McRae who's going to pick up a gold medal from this race. William Perry in second will get a silver. Medals in these heats do work on a -1 strategy, so just 2 medals for 3 swimmers, for example. So gold and silver on offer in that race, in that event. We'll go to Leo McRae and William Perry. 3 medals on offer then for the girls in the 50 fly multi-class, and we're about to find out where they're going right about now. We hand down to our officials for Heat 1 of 1.
Take your mark.
And away we go. Few classifications in this one. 2 S7 swimmers through the middle in lanes 4 and 5. Leah O'Connell of Camden Swiss Cottage and Hayley Milne of Grantham in 5. On the outside of those, we have 2 swimmers in the S6 classification, Katie Moss in 6 and Georgia Howell in 3. Then Suzanne Warren is in the S4 class in 2. And in 4, Leah O'Connell will come in to touch. 608 points is very, very good from Leah O'Connell. 39.9 the time. That will be very, very tough to beat. 608 is fantastic from Leah O'Connell. Brilliant swim. Katie Moss, we know, won't top that because we've already seen an S6 finish in Georgia Howell, who got 3.87, which at the minute is good enough for silver. Waiting on Suzanne Warren there to touch. 3.89 for Suzanne does mean that we have a late change. She'll pick up the silver medal. 3.89 for silver in that one. Good swim from Suzanne to just pip Georgia Howell into second position. Georgia will have to settle for the bronze, but the gold with a fantastic swim of 608 points, 39.9 for Camden Swiss Cottage, will go to Leah O'Connell. Our next event is almost upon us. It is the men's 400-metre freestyle. We have 9 heats of this one before a short break ahead of the women's 800 free at 12:30. So we're going towards the closing stages of this morning's session. And So we're just about ready down on the pool deck for our first race of event 509, the men's 400 metres freestyle, Heat 1.
Take your marks.
And just before we introduce the swimmers in heat number 1, can we please have Leo McRae and William Perry to the timing suite, please, for their medal presentations. Leo McRae and William Perry to the timing suite, please, for medal presentations. Thank you.
And we're underway with heat number 1 of 9 in the men's open 400 metre freestyle. And in heat number 1, lane 3, Joshua Weston of Wickham District. In 4, Ben Wright of Doncaster. In 8 or 5, Adam Strickland of Gateshead and Wick. And in lane 6, Jan Poulton of, again, Wickham. So the entry times on this one incredibly close. All 4 athletes in the pool came in with 4:29s. The fastest of which Ben Wright with a 4:29.24. And there's just a few tenths separating the other 3 chaps in the pool. And it is lane 5, Adam Strickland of Gateshead and Wick. All 14-year-olds as well in the pool, all in the same age category. So it is a straight race between these 4. And we are well over the halfway stage now. 2:10.41 for Adam Strickland at halfway. Less than a second's lead. And he's maintained that over the next 50 metres. 2:44.10. And still just a couple of seconds separating all 4 in the pool. So it is going to the form book, which we've got in front of us. Again, 4:29s on the entry times. And don't forget, while these 400 metre heats are going on, you can always get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag SESwimming. Have a quick look what's come through recently. Tina Maxwell, good luck to Lewis, swimming his last event, the 400 free this morning after a great 2 weeks. Hashtag SE Summer Champs 18 and SESwimming. And Steph Wass, good luck to Tom Blore in heat number 7. Kick, kick, kick. She signs that one off. So keep those coming through. Hashtag SESwimming. And we'll keep reading those out as they come in. So not much to go now. Less than 100 metres in heat number 1. And it's got a lot tighter over the last 50. Incredibly tight indeed. Adam Strickland still leads, but his lead's been diminished slightly. Joshua Weston just half a second behind. And the last 25 metres, he's led from start to finish. He's got about half a body length's lead. Lane number 5, Adam Strickland of Gateshead and Wick. Again, the entry time for him, it's a 4:29.51. He's going to be well under that, a good 4 seconds underneath that. And Joshua Weston putting up a fantastic fight for second place. In heat number 1, Ben Wright comes through in third, only 6/100ths or 6/10ths of a second ahead of Jan Poulton in lane number 6. So a great fight for heat number 1, and we'll move on to heat number 2.
Just before we meet the swimmers in heat number 2, a reminder for our men multi-class 50-metre fly medalists, Leo McRae and William Perry. Can you please make your way to medals immediately, please? Can you please make your way to timing suite for medals immediately, please? Leo McRae and William Perry. We'll be doing your medal ceremonies very, very shortly. We'd love to do them with you.
So heat number 2 well underway, and in lane 0, full complement in this one as well. Liam Dawson of Nova Centurion goes in 0 in lane 1. Thomas Defanes of Tiger Jersey. In 2, Nathan Bunkle of Harrogate. We've got City of Manchester teammates Robotham Keating and Oliver Taylor. Borough of Stockton's William Baines goes in 5. In 6, Daniel Kennedy, City of Leicester. Borough of Kirklees, Brandon Cartwright in 7. In 8, Niall Connell, City of Coventry. And Stockport's Lewis Cottam goes in 9. And incredibly tight early on in this one, just 125 gone. But barely half a body length separating all 10 athletes in the pool. So as we approach the halfway stage, still incredibly tight, a little bit more to separate them. Ever so marginal lead for lane 5's William Baines, Borough of Stockton. And it was between him and Oliver Taylor in 4 that came in with the fastest entry times, both with 4:27s. Baines with a 0.88 and Taylor with a 0.86, so just 200 separating on the entry times. And they're incredibly tight in the pool. But lane number 1, that is Thomas Defanes. He's come through all of a sudden just in this last 25 metres. And with 150 to go, it is going to be lane number 1's Thomas Defanes that's going to take that lead. And it is incredibly what Thomas Defanes has done over the last 100 metres. He enters the second half of this heat down in 4th position, but he's now got a streaking clear lead, the man in the yellow hat on the near side. And what's his lead going to be? It's a full body length. The Tiger Jersey athletes are 3:16, and it's a good couple of seconds ahead of Oliver Taylor and William Baines, still fighting it down the centre as we approach the final 125. And just to be aware, before the next heat, there will be a medal presentation for the para athletes from the previous heats. And that'll be during the next heat, not in between. So during the next heat, stay seated for those medal presentations and congratulate those athletes. But with just 50 to go now, in heat number 2, he's still leading the way. Thomas Defanes took charge of this race at the halfway stage, and he's still in charge of things with 25-30 metres to go. And the fight down the centre between lanes 4 and 5, the fastest men on paper coming into this one, Oliver Taylor and William Baines. They're joined in that fight for the top 3 with lane 0's Liam Dawson. What a cracking swim from lane number 1's Thomas Defanes. What's his time going to be? The entry time was a 4:28. He's going to crash that. It is indeed. It's a 4:23, and winning the fight for second is Oliver Taylor. And rounding out the top 3 in heat number 2 with a 4:26.31, Liam Dawson. But from halfway in that heat, Thomas Defanes absolutely took control and came through for the win. There's the confirmed results, 4:23 ahead of Taylor and Dawson. We move on to heat number 3.
Take your mark.
Cool. And here we are already in heat number 3 of 9 of this men's 400 metre freestyle in lane 0. Represents engagement on Wick, Adam Barrett. In lane 1, Gateshead and Wickham teammate Ryan Zao. In 2, Kieran Bott, City of Leicester. Truro City's Thomas Trebelock goes in 3. In 4, Penhale of Taunton Dean. Mount Kelly's James Bartley goes in lane number 5. In 6, Ben Newell of Didcot Bar. In 7, Jack Gartside of Northampton. Wolverhampton's Jack Haynes in 8. And Millfield's Evan Jones in 9.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will now be having our medal presentation for the men's and women's multi-class 50 metres butterfly. To present the medals, please welcome the Swim England Regional President for the South West, Paul Robbins. The winners of the bronze medals. In the women's event, representing Littlehampton, Georgia Howell. The winners of the silver medals. In the men's event, representing Mount Kelly, William Perry. And in the women's event, representing City of Norwich, Suzanne Warren. The winners of the Swim England National Summer Meet 2018 gold medals. In the men's event, representing Bournemouth Collegiate, Leo McRae. And in the women's event, representing Camden Swiss Cottage, Leah O'Connell. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for all of our medalists. Congratulations to all of our medalists in the men's and women's multi-class 50-metre flight. And we'll take a look back at the pool. And here to guide you through the remaining 120 metres or so. Away you go, Ewan Dunlop.
Absolutely, just 100 metres to go now in heat number 3. And in charge of heat number 3 is, of course, on the far side in lane number 7, Jack Gartside of Northampton. Entry time of 4:22.76, a second behind 4 athletes in the centre of the pool, but he's very much taken control. And in lane number 1, his closest ally is Ryan Zao. But it's very close indeed as they approach the final 50 metres. But it does look like Jack Gartside is going to maintain that lead. It is a touch at the far end for the final time. Closely followed very much indeed by Zao in lane number 1. And for the remainder of the pool, it's a fight between lanes 2, 3 and 6. By the looks of things, it's Kieran Bott, Thomas Trebelock and Ben Newell of Didcot. they're chasing down. They're not going to catch lane number 7's Jack Gartside. They may just about catch if they're very quick indeed over the last 20, Ryan Zao. But the win will go to lane number 7, Northampton's Jack Gartside. It's all about the time now. It's a 4:17.97. His entry time was 2:26.76, so almost a full 5 seconds off his entry time. Ryan Zao does hold on to second place, and rounding out the top 3 from Didcot, Ben Newell. We'll await those confirmed results before we move on to heat number 4. And there we go, Gartside in a 4:17.97, fantastic time under the 4:18 mark, a full 4 seconds ahead of Zao and Newell. Here we go with heat number 4.
Take your marks.
And so we move into heat number 4 in lane 0. Andrew Hall of Nova Centurion. In 1, Batan Paker of Plymouth Leander. Basildon Phoenix's James Spears goes in 2. City of Oxford's Billy Watton in 3. In 4, Ellis Stanhope of Sevenoaks. Our second Plymouth Leander athlete goes in 5, Alizera Maleki. In 6, Benjamin Foster of Stockport Metro. And to his side, Stockport Metro teammate Jolan Bennett in 7. In 8, Oscar North of Plymouth Leander. And in 9, Teddington's Edward Hunt. So 3 Plymouth Leander athletes and a couple from Stockport Metro. And in the first 150 metres, absolutely nothing to separate the entire pool. Entry times, pretty much all 10 athletes in the pool separated by just 1.5 seconds, so it's not to be unexpected, this straight line across the pool in this early stage of the 400 metres. Just in front, Ellis Stanhope, 1:33.66. Closely followed by Jolan Bennett of Stockport Metro. And then Basildon Phoenix, James Spears, and still extremely tight. Lane 4 just about out in front, Ellis Stanhope. He's going to lead at the halfway stage. And then get your ruler out and draw a line across the rest of the pool. Look at that, just 2 seconds separating the entire pool. Closest heat we've had so far in the first 4. Who can do what over the last 150, 200 metres? Can Ellis Stanhope maintain that lead? Can he extend it? Or can anybody else just nibble away over the second half of heat number 4? So Stanhope maintaining that slender advantage, and it's James Spears still in second. But it's Billy Watton of City of Oxford that's moved up into 3rd place, just 2 tenths behind Spears. And just another 10th behind Benjamin Foster in lane 6. He is currently lying in 4th place as they approach the final 100 metres. And Stanhope, who's still got that marginal advantage, he's increased it ever so slightly over the last 50 metres. Almost up to a full body length now. And he won't want to let this slip. He's held it for so long. But he doesn't want to spend any time looking to his left or right, because there is a charge coming from lanes 6, 3, 2, and down in lane 0 as well. Andrew Hall, he's coming through, the Nova Centurion athlete. And just 70 metres to go. Still Stanhope of Sevenoaks. What has he left in the tank for the last 50? What has anybody left in the tank for the last 50? Can anybody chase him down, the athlete that's led throughout heat number 4? As we've seen throughout the heat, Benjamin Foster is in second place, closely followed by now Bully Watton has moved down to third. And Andrew Hall has moved up to fourth, the man we just mentioned, and it's getting a little bit tighter. This is the tightest it's been for Stanhope over the whole 400 metres. And it's coming from Benjamin Foster in lane number 6. Is he just going to reach it? The last 5-10 metres to go. He's led throughout the race. He does take the win. It's a 4:16 for Stanhope. Entry time of 4:19, so 3 seconds clear of that. And coming through to take second, Benjamin Foster. And then just behind them, Bully Watton out-touches Edward Hunt, who takes up fourth place. But as always, a couple of age groups represented. And there's the final standings. We'll move on to heat number 5.
Take your mark.
So we reach the halfway stage of this event, the men's 400 metres. This is heat 5 of 9. In lane 0, Joseph Day of Exeter. Shea Bradley, City of Derby in 1. Jack Price of Chesterfield goes in 2. Another City of Derby, Isaac von Fintel in 3. Kenji McCabe, City of Oxford in 4. Ealing's George Barnes in 5. City of Birmingham's James Goodwin in 6. Taventio's Thomas White in 7. In 8, Lewis Maxwell of Derwentsside. And in 9, Judy Lydiard of City of St Albans. So the first 150 metres gone in. It's a stark contrast to heat number 4. Very much a split pool at this stage. We could draw a ruler line across heat number 4, but at this point, out in front at the moment, who's going to be after 150 metres? Is indeed in a lane at number 9, Jude Lydiard, City of St Albans. He's first place after 150, closely followed by Shea Bradley. It's the outside lanes taking the lead in this one, lanes 9, 0 and 1. With the top 3. And then a strong group of 5 down the centre. And at the halfway stage, it is between lanes 1 and 9. And very close indeed. Keep your eye on the scoreboard. It is just Jude Lydiard of City of St Albans, 2:02.95. And just about half a second behind is Shea Bradley on this near side at lane number 1, the man from Derby. And it's these two athletes that are stretching it out, still with plenty of swimming to go, but that is a strong lead at this stage in the race. Lane number 3, he's looking strong. Isaac von Fintel from the City of Derby, the closest challenger to those two that are setting the pace at this stage. 250 metres gone. So on the far side, lane number 9, Jude Lydiard. He's led throughout. And from our commentary position, just an ever so slight, slender advantage over Shea Bradley as we approach the final 100 metres. And it is Lydiard that still touches just in front, 3:08.63, just 3/10 of a head. Ahead of the man from Derby, Bradley, in lane number 1. Looks like it's going to be a showdown between these two over the last 75 metres. Coming through in lane number 4, Kenji McCabe of Oxford. He's now overtaken as the strongest challenger to those leading duo. And lane number 3, Isaac von Fintel. He looks strong for 50 metres. Can he maintain that over the last length of heat number 5? Now it looks like Shea Bradley for the first time, he has gone into the lead. He's been chasing down Jude Lydiard on the far side. I don't think they've probably not seen each other, opposite sides of the pool, but it's been these two the entire heat long, and it does now look still maintaining into the last 15 metres. But Shea Bradley, can he hold on to that in the last few strokes, or can Jude Lydiard, the man that led for so long in heat number 5, can he come through? He can't. It's 4:13 for Shea Bradley, and he's won by 0.8 of a second. It's a duo between that entire 400 metres. Jude Lydiard does take second, and coming through from nowhere to take third place is Lewis Maxwell in lane number 8. And we move on to heat number 6.
Take your marks.
Heat number 6 then of this men's 400 free. In 0, we have Ethan Raymond from Plymouth Leander. In 2 from Wolverhampton is Thomas Davidson. In 3 from Winchester, that's Thomas Menlove. 4 from Amersham is Jamie Owen. 5 is Ryan Wilcox from Nova Centurion. Alongside him in 6 is James Chennels from Berkhamsted. In 7, Ross Philp from Staines. In 8 from Crew Flyers is Marcus Cook. And in 9 from Leek is Callum Rushen. Don't forget to keep your tweets of support coming in for this 400 metre freestyle. Paul Moxham is doing just that. He's settled in nicely just in time to hopefully see one of his swimmers, Herbie Kinder, put in a decent effort in the 400 free, and he's looking out for Mia Leach in the 800 as well for City of Peterborough. Jen Johnston says good luck Bassett Law swim squad. Izzy Hobson Corbett and Tasha Utley going in the 800 later on this afternoon. Remember that will start at 12:30, so we should have ourselves a little lunch break ahead of that. Only a short one though, before we head into the 800s. She's also looking forward to seeing Tom Johnston in the 50 fly final. Sam Cooper was getting behind Tom DeFanes, and the Coopers delayed their shopping trip to watch Tom DeFanes go in lane 1 in heat 2. He had a very, very good swim. Won it very comfortably. City of Peterborough, as ever, are getting right behind their swimmers, so too are lots of our clubs. St Felix, Northampton, plenty of them getting behind their swimmers, which is lovely to see on the final day. That little bit of extra inspiration could be all it takes. Kerry Morris says good luck to the Nova boys in the 400s. Liam, Ryan, Josh and Sam, she's all cheering on. Ryan is going in this one in lane 5. He's got a little bit of work to do if he's to catch up with the swimmers leading the way. And leading the way in 4 is Jamie Owen from Amersham. He's going along very nicely indeed. He's got a little bit of competition though in lane 0 on the near side, Ethan Raymond is looking pretty good. Less than a second behind. Also in lanes 6 and 7, James Chennels and Ross Philp also in contention here. And Jamie Owen, he's got to watch himself as he heads towards the finish here. Can he hold on for the win, or is he about to be turned over right at the last? I think it could be the case. James Chennels is finishing very strongly. So too is Ross Philp. Oh, wowee. So too is Ross Philp. That's a tied first. 4:14.15. That's how close that was. Just pipping Jamie Owen to the wall at exactly the same time. Those results are confirmed. Brilliant race at the end there from Ross Philp and James Chennels to tie for first. Jamie Owen in third. We move on to heat number 7.
Take your marks.
We are well away in our 7th heat of the men's 400 free. 2 more to come after this one. Here are the swimmers in heat 7. In 1 from City of Peterborough is Herbie Kinder. In 2 from Brompton, Brandon Sayers. 3, Kane Murcott from Royal Wolverhampton School. Adam Law from Borough of Kirklees goes in 4. In 5 from Pioneer 79 is Aaron Bostock. In 6 from Nova Centurion is Joshua Harris. Piers Bowden for Wycombe District is in 7. In 8 is Ryan Huddart from Deventio Excel. And in 9 is Millfield's Alexander Sargent. And we'll be trying to keep you abreast of all the action that's happening up in Glasgow at the European Championships this morning. Can tell you already that Duncan Scott is qualified through from the preliminaries of the 100-metre freestyle in 7th position, which is lovely to see. Siobhan Marie O'Connor qualified through in her prelims as well in the 100-metre breaststroke in 4th place. Imogen Clark also qualifying through with Sarah Vasey from the British contingent. In the 200 fly, James Guy was 6th fastest through to the next stage of the 200 fly. Georgia Davis was quickest through in the 50 backstroke in European record time as well, which was fantastic stuff. 27:21, brilliant work from Georgia Davis. Brand new European record for her. Also qualifying through to the next stage, Kathleen Dawson, Cassie Wilde, which is, again, brilliant to see. Our swimmers having a really good time of it. And in the 4x2 mixed freestyle relay, Britain were 2nd quickest. Cameron Curl, Craig McLean, Catherine Greenslade and Holly Hibbert 2nd quickest through in qualifying behind Russia, which is lovely scenes. So a really good morning in the pool in Glasgow up at the European Championships. We'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening in the evening session there as well. But great to see our Brits going really strongly in Glasgow. Maybe some names you wouldn't necessarily expected or appreciated before, are putting in some fantastic swims, some for the very first time on the international stage. And as we come towards home here in heat number 7 of the men's 400, we do have a close finish. In lane 3, Kane Murcott from Royal Wolverhampton School is leading the way. Not by a lot, though, over Ryan Huddart of Davencio Excel in lane 8. Going to be a close finish. I think Kane Murcott should just get there. Oh, Willie. Oh, it's Ryan Huddart who does. We will just have to wait, though. We haven't quite got the time through for Kane Murcott just yet. 4:11.71, so it's 200ths of a second was the difference. Ryan Huddart just pipping Kane to the touch there for Davencio Excel. Kane is good for second place. 4:11.71 is a very good time indeed. Inside his entry time by a couple of seconds. Joshua Harris third with 4:12.46. Just waiting for those results to be confirmed on the screen. And a really close finish to the end of heat 7. There's Ryan Huddart and Kane Murcott went hammer and tong at each other in the final 15 metres. You can see a tied finish in our last heat. We nearly saw another one there, only 200ths of a second separating our leading pair. So officials just making sure that everything is all okay on the pool side with that result. Swims will now clear the pool. And we'll wait to see what our official word will be. Meanwhile, Neil McRae is here in Ponds Forge. He's congratulating Leo McRae on a gold medal in the multi-class 50 fly. Very, very pleased. He came, he swam, he conquered with a 2-second PB. Congratulations to Leo and to Neil. And we do have our confirmed results on the boards for heat number 7, which means we can now move on with our next race. This is heat 8.
Take your mark.
And we are away and racing in heat number 8. This is the penultimate heat of the men's 400 freestyle rather. And running through the start list here. In lane 0 from Plymouth Leander is Jay Snowden. Jack Buswell goes for Northampton in 1. In 2 from Swansea Aquatics, that's Charlie Hopkins. In 3 from Royal Wolverhampton School, that's Ben Cope. We have one of our Danish guests in 4, that is Marcus Svensson, or Svensson rather. In 5 is Marcus Johnson from City of Milton Keynes. In 6, Miles Turner from West Suffolk. In 7 from Northampton is Samuel Blackett. 8 from Stockport Metro is Alex Crossland Robbins. And in 9 is the Nova Centurion swimmer, Samuel Williams. A couple of heats in the 400 to go. We're going to have a pretty swift lunch break before we start with the women's 800 metre freestyle heats. We've got 7 of those as we dish out our age group medals in the women's 800. Here, our international guest Marcus Svensson is having a brilliant race here for Denmark. He is the quickest entrant in this event. He's the only man out of these 9 swimmers or 10 swimmers I should say, who've been under the 4-minute barrier. He entered in a time of 3:58. But he's got to go well because there's 2 Danes in heat 9 who've also gone sub 4 minutes, and they also will be looking to make the final. Only 2 internationals will be in the 400 metre freestyle final, which is pushing Marcus to go out quick in the heats this morning. Usually in the 400 free you tend to see a little bit of something held back because it is a long race and swimmers want to keep something in the legs for the evening. Marcus Svensson knows he will have to go pretty quick to get a better time than either one of Mikael Gadgard or Nicholas Blank in lane 4 and 5 of our next race. That will spur him on. He's going to take the win in this one pretty comfortably. As you can see, the battle for second place behind him is raging on between Marcus Johnson, Charlie Hopkins and Jack Buswell in lanes 5, 2 and 1. No doubt about the winner though, just going to be outside 4 minutes with a very good swim. 4:01.57 for Marcus Svensson to win it. Now then, what can our young Englishman do behind him? 4:08.32 is the time from Marcus Johnson. And that's a very nice time indeed, only just outside his entry, which shows how quickly he was going. Jack Buswell gets 3rd in that one. Ben Cope was next in from the English lot. But it's a Marcus 1-2. Svensson and Johnson, those are our official results as we move on to our final heat. This is heat 9. And we are away in our next heat, and after I was saying, Marcus Svensson will have to go some, so make sure he's qualified through. It looks like we don't have Nicholas Blank in this one, just Mikael Gadgard of Denmark, so we can expect to see Marcus Svensson in our final later on. Here's the full field. Jacob Butterfield from City Elite is in 0. Samuel Niels from Wrekin College is in 2. City of Oxford, Daniel Jenkins goes in 3. Mikael Gadgard of Denmark is in 4. Ralph Munster from City of St Albans is in 6. From Tewkesbury in 7 is Adam Hall. Jared Armstrong from City of Manchester Aquatics is in 8, while Luke Sugden of Hatfield is in 9. Mikkel set the quickest entry time in this whole event. It is set at 3:57.39. Turns 19 this year, does the man from Denmark. And he's been generally pretty successful throughout the course of this meet. And as he turns at the halfway mark, he is well inside 2 minutes. 1:57.79 after 200. Bit of an interesting dynamic here for Mikkel. He's not really got anyone with him to really push him on. He may decide to negative split this, just to cruise through. And you see there his arms doing the vast majority of the work. Really smooth, elegant stroke from Mikkel Gadgaard. It is a touch slower for Mikkel in the third 100 metres there. No great surprise at this stage of the meet. The legs are a little bit heavy. 400 freestyle on the final day as well. No need for Mikkel to really go out and smack this one, really. It'll still be a good time, mind. Turning in 3:33. Second place from a British perspective is Ralph Munster from City of St Albans in lane 6. And you can just see here Mikkel, just a bit of a class apart from these youngsters around him. And he is cruising into the finish just outside 4 minutes. 4:02.23, very nicely done from Mikkel Gadgaard. Second place is going to go, I think, to Ralph Munster. There is Daniel Jenkins, who just pipped him by a tenth of a second or so. City of Oxford swimmer getting 4:08.61, 4:08.79 for Ralph Munster in behind him. The rest of our swimmers all touching in to complete heat number 9 and complete our final race of the morning session. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will just about do us for the swimming for this morning. As I mentioned, we do have a very short break. It is less than 45 minutes until the swimming resumes. That'll be for the women's 800 metres freestyle. That gets underway at 12:30. So, spectators in Ponds Forge, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little...